you. Thank you, honorable members. May I also extend my profound gratitude. You know, these small gestures look small until they cause a ripple effect of inspiring those athletes, those young people. It reminds us of the journeys each and every one of us have started. Barefoot in Kachina Primary School, in Kunihas, in Kwantabes, in Opuo. And to come here, just people seeing you from there start to develop hope. And that's why us Christians believe not in miracles, but in hope. The hope of a prayer. So really I'm really delighted. This is not for us, but this is for those and the others who will come from us. So thank you very much, and you can give you. We have disposed of the message of the head of state. Now is there any ministerial statement? No. Oh, okay. You see, you are black and white, so I don't know now there, you know, that combination between Wise and Honorable Sanet.
The mic? Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, I promise to bring feedback on the issue of Maria Mwengere, and therefore I stand to inform this August House about the investigation that we launched after the Sunday 31st August 2025, the suspected food poisoning that occurred at Maria Mwengere Secondary School Hostel in the Kavango East region, but also to outline the measures our ministry has undertaken to arrest the situation and to prevent any further occurrence thereof. In total, 125 learners presented with gastroenteritis-related symptoms, of which 33 were admitted for suspected food poisoning, while 36 were kept under observation. 2 learners required high care but have since been stabilized, and all affected learners have now fully recovered. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, allow me to share the key findings of the investigations that were undertaken by the Ministry in collaboration with other key stakeholders. A committee of officials from our Ministry, working with the Ministry of Health and Social Services, NEM Water, Namibian Police, and regional stakeholders, conducted a thorough investigation which yielded the following findings. Number 1, water quality. The hostel's water storage tank, after some water tests were undertaken, revealed chlorine levels of 2.2 milligram per liter, which is above the safe standards for human consumption. The water in these tanks also showed some visible discoloration, indicating contamination. In the absence of any formal communication to the school to stop the usage of water from the contaminated water storage tanks, the learners regrettably continued to consume the water, thus exacerbating the situation. Number 2, food preparation. Although no spoiled food was detected from the supplier, learners reported that they suspected that part of the cause could have been the sausages that were served to them on the 25th of August, which they say was undercooked. 3, cold storage. Although the hostel cold room has been non-functional for 2 to 3 years, leading to frequent spoilage of food and vegetables, this was eliminated as a possible cause of the occurrence. Number 4, kitchen hygiene. The investigation also revealed that food handlers have not undergone any medical testing since 2014, and that hostel staff also lack protective clothing such as aprons, boots, and caps. Waste bins were found inside the kitchen, and access control was very poor. Again, this has also been ruled out as a possible cause of the situation. However, relevant precautionary measures have now been instituted to curb this from occurring in future. The last one is in terms of menu adherence. Records examined show the hostel staff substituted food items without approval, thus deviating from the prescribed menu. Once again, we have instituted appropriate measures to ensure the capacitation of all hostel staff members in the regions. Honourable Deputy Speaker, honourable members, our findings also revealed that some affected individuals, including day scholars and one staff member who had not consumed hostile food, also fell ill. It therefore strongly led to the conclusion that the contaminated water in the water tank is possibly the primary contributor to the outbreak. I must, however, indicate that the Ministry sincerely regret what happened, and in mitigation of the situation at the school, the Ministry, through the Kavango East Education Directorate, have initiated the following short to long-term measures. In terms of short-term and ongoing, is the repair and maintenance of the cool room storage. The procurement is already underway. Second one is the water tank, urgent replacement of the hostel's contaminated water tank with two 10,000-litre elevated tanks. Waste management guidelines to be reinforced, hostel menu and reinforcement of adherence to the menu with substitution only permitted upon written approval. Hostel guidelines, adherence of full protective uniform and annual medical testing for all food handlers. In long-term, food safety and outbreak response plan that needs to be developed at every hostel level. A regional maintenance plan in the long run to implement regional maintenance plans with specific priorities for hostel infrastructure. To conclude, Honourable Deputy Speaker, honourable members, I wish to reiterate that the well-being of all our learners remains a top priority to our ministry, and so do our esteemed stakeholders. The outbreak at Maria Mwengere Secondary School is a sobering reminder of the urgent need for us to strengthen our hostel management systems, ensure safe water supply, and uphold food safety standards. And we are fully committed to that. I so submit, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. I recognize Honourable. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm used to always him coming. Now the notes are not following me. That brings us to the order, which is the notice. First notice is the one of Honourable Aupindi. Does Honourable Aupindi move the motion?
I so move, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Who seconds the motion? Any objection? Agreed to. Honourable Aupindi, you now have the floor.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, honourable members, this is really a high distinct privilege for me to move that the National Assembly approves that the United States of America lifts the economic, financial, and commercial blockade against the Republic of Cuba and its people. And the National Assembly further called on the United States of America to immediately remove the Republic of Cuba from the list of state-alleged sponsors of terrorism. Recognizing, honorable members, the long-standing historical ties, the strong bond of friendship, growing excellent bilateral relations between Namibia and Cuba, as well as recalling the selfless sacrifices and enormous contribution made by the brave sons and daughters of Cuba towards our protracted struggle for national independence from the yoke of colonialism, apartheid, and dehumanization. Further, recognizing, honorable members, that our good bilateral relations with the United States of America, which has yielded a lot of economic opportunity, the government of the United States of America has provided significant bilateral support to Namibia, primarily through the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR in short, contributing over $1.3 billion to the HIV response since 2005. Other areas of support include economic development through a past Millennium Challenge account, compact effort to improve health, education, and trade, and assistance for food security, drought relief, and public diplomacy initiatives. The partnership is built on shared democratic principles and aims to enhance Namibia's self-sufficiency and prosperity. Both the United States of America honorable members, and the Republic of Cuba are members of the United Nations. Therefore, mindful that the Charter of the United Nations calls upon member states to promote peace, development, and to live together as good neighbors. Convinced that the Cuban people have long suffered from the severe and excessive financial and economic blockade imposed by successive administrations of the United States of America since February 1962, when President J.F. Kennedy proclaimed an embargo on trade between the United States and Cuba. Many issues followed thereafter, honorable members, between the two countries, which could be described as acts of aggression, including the Cold War, including the Cuban Missile Crisis, which further escalated the situation. The Cold War was an ideological global geopolitical rivalry between the United States and its allies, the Western Bloc, and the Soviet Union and its allies, the Eastern Bloc, that began after World War II and ended with the disillusionment of the Soviet Union. However, despite the Cold War ending some 34 years ago, the blockade on Cuba remains in place today. Today, some 63 years later, since the blockade remained in force, causing economic devastation on Cuba, and a great economic opportunity has been missed by both the United States and Cuba. The current status quo is not sustainable for both countries. According to the US-based Anti-Embargo Cuba Policy Foundation, estimated that the embargo cost the United States economy $3.6 billion per year in economic output. The United Nations assessed the damage to the Cuban economy from 2022 to 2023 to be at $4.8 billion. Cuba is, of course, on the receiving end. It is measured that the economic catastrophe on Cuba are in trillions. And with Cuba on the receiving end, since the blockade to the present, the Republic of Cuba has actually lost, if you put it in number, more than $1 trillion in economic opportunities and growth. While the US may be able to increase its trade with other global economies, these losses are unsustainable figures for any small economy like Cuba. It is a small economy. The process is further complicated by inclusion of Cuba in the list of alleged sponsor of terrorism, which for all purposes is not supported by concrete evidence. And this has led to devastation, economic consequences on Cuba and its people. Therefore, in my last, the National Assembly must encourage the two countries to work together in a true spirit of good neighborliness and cooperation through dialogue, mutual respect, and shared commitment to fostering a deeper understanding which reflects the value of dignity, equality, and peaceful coexistence in accordance with the Charter of the United Nations. We further call on...
Thank you, Honorable Member. No, I mean, it's time, my brother.
15 minutes. There was no 15 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
I'm sorry, Honorable Deputy Speaker. It was not 15 minutes. I'm supposed to have 15 minutes. It was not 15 minutes. It was 10 only. It was 10 only. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The time was not right. I was watching. The time was not right.
No, but
yeah.
Okay,
so,
just continue. But when you realize the time is not right, notify the speaker so that we don't have this.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I apologize, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you.
It's unconditional.
No.
So we further call on the United States to lift the economic blockade that they imposed against the Republic of Cuba and its people, and further call on the immediate removal of Cuba from the list of state-alleged sponsors of terrorism. Reaffirm our support for the Cuban Revolution that has given the Cuban people sovereignty, dignity, education, health, and other significant achievements. Namibia stands ready to offer its mediating support and play its meaningful role in the promotion of lasting peace and coexistence and economic opportunity between the two countries. I call on the honorable members of this August House to unanimously approve this motion without delay. I so move, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and I thank you. Thank you.
I recognize Honorable Ampanda.
Yeah, thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. I think we must do better The subject matter is so serious and so important, but once we pluralize it, it becomes very problematic. When we want, for instance, for the assembly to have regard to a text, we must engage each other so that we can agree to the content of the text. For example, when we say we recommit ourselves to the Cuban Revolution, what do we mean? Is the revolutionary situation or a revolutionary outcome? Because the Cuban Revolution is what, or is it the legacy of the Cuban Revolution? When we say, for example, there were acts of aggression, including the Cold War, do we understand the Cold War as an act of aggression against Cuba? Or we understand the Cold War as an international development? Yeah, I'm now just addressing myself, Deputy Speaker, to the text that all of us ought to have agreed as far as the people of Cuba are concerned. But when we want to do it in a partisan issue, it becomes very problematic. For instance, if you say in the same paragraph that between 2022 and 2023, about 4.5 billion in terms of the damage to the Cuban economy. But then again, in the same sentence, the same paragraph, it said that the United Nations estimates that 2023, which is the same period, is $1 trillion in inverted commas. Okay? So we need to do better, Deputy Chairperson. And I think part of the problem that I'm sitting with the motion is just that, how do we pass a motion with agency? You see, Cubans paid with their lives, and Namibians gave them springboks. Yeah? No, we factually. So what I'm saying is that Cuban paid with their lives. Cuban paid in.
No, Honorable Member, it does address the presiding officer.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. So I'm trying to problematize that. You see, and the motion call of us to pass it with agency as if it's a step is a little matter. We must ventilate this issue properly and have a proper text that unites us, that is factually correct. On that basis, that's why, Deputy Speaker, for me to make my informed contribution, I move that I adjourn the debate to the, what is after 2 weeks? Just to, 18, to the 18th of October to make an informed contribution. But generally, we are in support. We shouldn't do that. It's just the approach that we want to take on this. So I want to make my informed, factual contribution on very important motion that we shouldn't actually rush, and then we will all agree substantively so that we don't give Cuba the springboks when they've paid with their lives. So 16th of, Thursday the 16th of, no, not Thursday, Wednesday the 15th of October. Thank you, Deputy.
Okay, ordinarily I didn't want to interrupt you, but Honorable Member, if you have got intention to postpone, because on this motion, in terms of the rules, you must contribute once. Now you took 3 minutes, 3 minutes to postpone the debate. There is no problem to postpone, but to take the floor and say, I'm postponing this debate, just like we do with questions. You have got an oral question, I give you the floor, you say, mine is not a written question, it's an oral question. Then you sit and you wait until your oral question comes. Should have just been the same, to say, I of the opinion to postpone, and then those who are ready will contribute, and by the time when you come, they will then postpone. I don't think it's asking too much. But that thing of, the rules, here I must, until the presiding officer is awake and then tell you, I don't think we should have that kind of approach. Thank you. I now recognize Honorable Felipe. Oh, okay. I now recognize Honorable. No, he said next time. I thought. Okay, Honorable Felipe.
Please, you must behave. This is an August House.
Hello.
You must behave.
Yeah, Honorable Felipe, please step us down. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, I support this motion 110%.
Yeah.
I rise to join our President, Her Excellency Netumbonani Ndaita, who took the stand at the United Nations.
Thank you. When I made his speech, as well as all people around the world who are seeking to uplift the living standard of the Cuban people
and their relationship with the United States. We stand in solidarity with Cuba, a country that stood by Namibia's side during the darkest days. The Cubans' unwavering support and solidarity played a vital role in our fight against independence. Their presence and support were a beacon of hope, and we will never forget their contribution to our nation's freedom. We honor the courage and self-sacrifice of the Cuban people who risk everything to support our cause. Their commitment and internationally and solidarity is an inspiration to all of us. As we celebrate our shared stories and values, we reiterate our commitment to strengthening our friendship and cooperation between Cuba, who led the revolutionary leaders, our founding president, Dr. Sam Nujoma, and El Comandante, the late former President Fidel Castro of Cuba. We also want the international community to support the lifting of the US embargo on Cuba and also remove the Republic of Cuba from the list of the state-alleged sponsors of terrorism. The United Nations General Assembly has repeatedly condemned this embargo, with 187 countries voting in favor of ending it. We believe that it is time for the US to reconsider its stance and work towards normalizing the relationships with Cuba. Let us continue to stand in solidarity with Cuba and support their right to self-determination. Our quest to ensure that the global world have an understanding that we need to love each other. The world should be free from trade oppression, wars, and conflict. The rationale of this world should have a simple understanding from all nations that we are made to make difference. Honorable Speaker, the Americans, they should be proud of that they brought Cuba on its knees through its diplomatic bullying and not once a great nation. And we should seriously move on to the 21st century politics where the world is at a global village. Honorable Speaker, we can't kick a dying horse. Therefore, every effort should be made to restore the dignity of Cuba and its people, and I raise my case. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. I now recognize Honorable Matundu.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I rise to wholeheartedly support this motion by reaffirming our unwavering commitment to advocate for the lifting of the unjust embargo against Cuba, which has endured for over 6 decades now. Honorable Speaker, permit me to quote President Hage G. Geingob when he said, "How should Americans feel when a child is born, but by the age of 50 or so, the only thing that this child knows is only blockade," end of quote. I picked that quote of the third president of Namibia because the reality today is more than 80% of the country's current population was born under blockade. It is imperative that the people of Cuba are granted their rightful access to a dignified life, unburdened by constraints that impede their nation's progress. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, every Namibian citizen should stand in resolute solidarity with the people of Cuba, persistently supporting its endeavors to end the economic and financial sanctions imposed by the US government. Because it is Cuba that we are talking about, the Cuban government who stood with Namibia during our liberation struggle. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the ongoing economic blockade has hindered essential resources from reaching the innocent people of Cuba due to one-sided sanctions imposed on Cuba. Blocking of essential services, including medical supplies, has had a negative effect on the health and well-being of the Cuban people. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, in conclusion, the sanctions against Cuba by the United States government should be lifted and a dialogue must be initiated to restore the US-Cuba bilateral relations. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, thank you for your kind attention, and I again supporting this very important motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Nashinge.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The motion is wholeheartedly and patriotically supported. But given the urgency and the importance of it, I would want to propose that we push it to next week, Tuesday the 7th, for fair and solid contribution, so that we can all participate, and with a little time, enough time we have, we can prepare ourselves, and also for us to be able to look at ourselves in the mirror and look at what we have done for our brothers and sisters of Cuba, Namibia being a child of solidarity.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, normally I don't want to interrupt people, but to repeat, and Honorable Swartboy will help you. The precursor to postponement is too long, honorable members. No, if you postpone, just postpone. But the precursor becomes too long, and then you will put me under pressure to say, Honorable Nashinge contributed twice, also give me twice. So then I will be in difficulty. So please, honorable member, if you are postponing, because I take note, Honorable Amupanda want 15 September, October, you want 7 October, so you will take now precedence, and then Honorable Amupanda will come thereafter. But that cannot take more than 30 seconds. Honorable Lizazi, help me. Yeah, you are the man of the book.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. I will do my small contribution today, but then it's in the form of a question to the nation and to the mover of the motion. The motion is very, very important. We know how much the Cubans sacrificed to us, for us, and then we also know what they have done for us in the health fraternity during or after independence. Some of them are still there in our hospitals serving us. But now I just want to understand the provision of Article 96 of the Namibian Constitution, which states that the state shall endeavor to ensure that in its international relations it adopts and maintains a policy of non-alignment. Yes, we know what they have done for us. Now, what about the issue of non-alignment? What does it mean? Maybe someone can make me understand, because now the whole motivation and everything is aligned to Cuba, and we leave the United States. We say we are going to promote international cooperation, peace, and security. To go further, we can read on ourselves. Now, when we look at this provision of Article 96, where does it leave the nation of Namibia? Where does it leave Namibia? Are we now avoiding what is written in the Constitution and now align, and we are even pushing for it to be agent like what we saw in the 7th Parliament, where they did the agents of moving 13 and voting for them on the other side of the aisle. And is this what you are pushing again? That's why I said my contribution is I want to be made understood. I don't want to be left behind always. I want to move with others. I don't want to be seen as a shallow-minded person. I want to be seen as someone who understands what is happening. So why is it done like this? From last week, we see this trend is happening. Is there something that is behind this motion that you are not telling us?
Tell us.
Can you please be open and tell us what is happening? don't hide the things. Just be open, like what Honorable Ampanda said. Open up, and then we agree, and then we move in the same direction, all of us. You can read the statement of how Cuba and USA have done this and that. We already know that. Tell us something new that we don't know, so that we can at least understand what is happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
She's out.
Honorable Krone.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Honorable Speaker, maybe before I support the motion, you must guide me because there was no true request for postponement. Should I still continue to? Okay. Then thank you.
You are asking me, but you are answering people.
Sorry, I got many yeses, Honorable Speaker. My apologies. Yes. Honorable members, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I rise in support of the motion. The urgency thereof is also, we know the Cuban people suffered a lot, and really we as Namibians must come up and address this issue to see how we can assist them through taking serious decisions to help our fellow Cubans. The economic, financial, and commercial blockade against the Republic of Cuba has for decades inflicted severe hardship on the Cuban people. Lifting this blockade and removing Cuba from the list of so-called state sponsors of terrorism will bring immense benefits to not only to Cuba, but to the broader international community. Firstly, on the economic front, Cuba will regain access to normal trade relations. This will open opportunities for Cuba to export its sugar, tobacco, rum, and world-class pharmaceuticals, whilst also importing essential goods at fair prices. Foreign investment in tourism, particularly from the United States, will grow substantially, creating jobs and strengthening industries. Secondly, on the humanitarian front, lifting restrictions will allow Cuba easier access to food, medicine, and modern medical equipment. The Cuban healthcare system, renowned for its excellence, will be further strengthened, benefiting not only the Cuban people, but also global health cooperation. Citizens will have improved living standards, better access to basic goods, and greater financial stability. Thirdly, on the international front, normalization of relations will improve diplomatic ties, reduce tensions in the region, and enhance Cuba's role in the international organization. Removing Cuba from the terrorism list will also end the stigma and restrictions that have long hindered its participation in global financial and political systems. Honorable members, this motion is about fairness, dignity, and justice. The Cuban people deserve the chance to prosper, free from economic strangulation. By supporting this motion, we stand for peace, economic cooperation, and the right of all nations to self-determination. I therefore urge this House to fully support the motion, and I thank you.
Thank you. I now recognize Honorable Lucato.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Member of Parliament. My contribution is very short and brief. I just want to say the motion, any motion which can be brought in this August House, is so important, any motion. Then that motion, it should be very much studied. We have to study that motion because Namibia preach peace, it preach democracy, it preach that we should not allow terrorism in Namibia. We should not allow to alliance with other countries, suspected countries. Then let me come. When Cuba was listed by the former US head of states. And then eventually, when the current US head of state, then the Cuba was taken back on that list. So now, we must not go harsh, or let me say, as a matter of an agent. Myself, as I represent the masses of this country, and then today I cannot support today because my research is not yet completed. Yes, so which means that Honorable Speaker, yes, thank you, yes.
Okay, now, I think you have contributed in the list. Yes, you have. Yeah, I said the precursor to postponement is taking long. We must draw the line somewhere. And the elders are the ones who showed us the way. So I will start with him. If not, I will speak the other language where we understand each other. Thank you. I don't see you. I thought we are done, and I wanted to give Honorable Eames to postpone so that we go to the next item. Yeah, I think. No, yes, Honorable Eames.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why I said there was two, but we agreed that the other one is before the other one. So we'll give.
Thank you. But thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I postpone to the 7th of October 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you. And job well done to the administration for fixing
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The second notice is the one of the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Does the Right Honorable Prime Minister move the motion?
Yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Who seconds the motion? Any objection? Agreed to. The Right Honorable Prime Minister has now the floor to motivate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker and honorable members. The gazetting of the National Policy on Disability and its Implementation Action Plan is an issue of national imperative. By passing this motion, Parliament will transform our constitutional and international commitments into enforceable measures that directly uplift more than 130,000 Namibians living with disabilities. This is about turning aspirations into binding action, complete with clear strategies, timelines, budgets, and accountability mechanisms to dismantle the entrenched barriers that deny many of our citizens equal access to education, healthcare, employment, and justice. Importantly, Honorable Speaker, this motion is a chance for all parties in Parliament to demonstrate unity and leadership by placing the dignity and rights of persons with disability above politics. It strengthens Namibia's credibility as one of the first African countries to ratify the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability and the African Disability Protocol, positioning us as a continental leader in inclusive development. Let us be clear, disability inclusion is not a cost, but an investment in human capital, productivity, and sustainable national growth. Failure to act decisively will perpetuate inequality and poverty, but prioritizing this motion will show the people of Namibia that this Parliament is committed to leaving no one behind in line with Vision 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals, and the principle of justice enshrined in our Constitution. I shall submit, Honorables, Deputy Speaker, and Honorable Members of Parliament. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now
Should I?
recognize Honorable Gambala.
Let me have my space. Unfortunately, I don't have a jacket because everybody is doing this today. So, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, notwithstanding the importance and the basis of our Constitution and the importance of inclusion, I would like to postpone the motion to the 16th of October so that we make proper input in on the debate, and also further request the Office of the Prime Minister to make the draft document available so that we have a proper engagement when we come back to visit the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Licando. Rodri.
Deputy Speaker, I'm rising on a point of privilege. 83(1)D.
Cite it,
83(1)D. Honorable Speaker, maybe you can educate us. What is the requirement for a motion to become an urgent motion, to be discussed urgently? What is the requirement? Because we have tabled motions of national interest here. Some of the motions that we have tabled, they were supposed to be discussed urgently. I've tabled a motion here on the National Wildfire Strategy, but our motions have been deferred forward. So the question is, what is the requirement for the motion to be discussed urgently? Thank you.
Okay. With me. Okay. Let me first dispose of these interventions before we can continue. Honorable.
I would want to understand why the Right Honourable Prime Minister brought a policy document to Parliament that makes laws. Because we don't approve policies. That's the remit of the executive. We do lawmaking. If perhaps the Right Honourable Prime Minister wanted discussion and input, no problem. But the motion says that we approve the national policy, and we don't approve a policy, because that is the remit of the executive to go into detail with specific policies and so on. But I think the Prime Minister has a good reason. Perhaps he wanted further input from the House, and perhaps he wanted to be inclusive. But this is not the practical issue. But the matter can be discussed, but we don't approve policy. I think that must be clear.
Okay. That one is for the PM to come to share the wisdom. But I think the honorable member has also answered. Maybe it's also just for enlightenment. But he was benchmarking his arguments in terms of the customary proceedings and the clear definition of the policy vis-a-vis the lawmaking process. So that's one. Honorable Roderick, the answer to yours is just here. I don't know how to put it, but we are all Africans. If, and that is what Honorable Amupanda was saying, maybe consultations must be made, and then we agree, consensus uniformly, as to what is it that we deem to be of utmost importance over the others that are important. We don't say they are not important, but that is an understanding that is derived. And that is why you see of all God's creatures, the buffaloes you are fighting for, the oryx there in Etosha, was all created by God. But God added one thing to the human race, the ability to speak to each other and reach consensus. It is in that spirit when we reach to each other and reach consensus in terms of what we term to be urgent beyond urgent, then we follow that route. I hope I've answered you. If you look it in the rules, it's not there, but the people can make it, and therefore they can follow the doctrine of thinking of to term what is urgent and what is not urgent. But in terms of the rules, all motions are motions. But then the ability to prioritize emanates from consensus amongst members. Come again? Yeah, secretary and the speaker. Yeah, that's what the rule says. Honorable Zazi will help you. Okay. No, you are normally a very good, you are not like that. I'm just giving, yeah, please. No, normally you are very good, Honorable Ligando. Yeah.
Post now. The consensus was reached that the interests of Cuba should be put over the interests of Namibian issues.
No.
Because there are motions that were tabled here of national interest, and then those motions are not yet discussed. So if you are saying consensus was reached there, that this motion for Cuba should be
prioritized.
Yes, prioritized over national issues. That's what I'm asking.
No. Where we are differing is to say all of them are important, but the agenda is, in terms of the same rules you are citing, entrusted in the speaker through the secretary. Okay. Honorable Kambala, I just wanted to come. 16 October is a Thursday. 15th. So a day earlier. Okay. Table office, take note of that. Honorable PM.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, and the customary rule of the House. The rationale for it to be brought here is to inform the public and to inform the August House, because it was here before. We just needed to get the process of gazetting it so that we can have it operationalized. So that was the wisdom. Eh?
Yes.
Yes.
The wisdom.
Yes.
Speak.
Yes.
Okay.
Eh? Yes. So that is
it's
really
for note taking.
Yes.
It's what you are saying. It's for note taking,
yes.
so that thereafter the gazetting process can then now be followed. But having given that privilege to the honourable members to take note before it's gazetted.
Yes. So that when you see it in operation and you are invited, you will not say, "But we were not made aware of this important development."
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now, I think the question was from Honorable Swartboy to the PM. The PM has answered. We are cleared on that one. We are cleared, honorable members. If you want to contribute, just come. Don't hijack. It was a question, and the question is clear. No, honorable members, the policy is for note-taking. Huh? Come again? The policy is for note-taking. What does note-taking mean? If you discuss, when you are taking note, can you change? No. So the policy is just for note-taking, to give you that distinct honor as MPs to take note of the policy before it's gazetted. That's all. Okay. I now recognize Honorable Ngube.
Now, do we continue contributing? Or we are done?
The policy is for note-taking. The floor is yours, but it will not change anything.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Honorable Deputy Chairperson, Honorable Speaker, and honorable members of the August House, I'm really pleased to contribute to this discussion of this National Policy on Disability of 2025 and its implementation action plan of 2025-2030, as tabled by the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Elia Ngurare, for the policy to be noted. However, I would just like to really thank this privilege, as I have also had the opportunity to work on this policy
in my previous capacity as a former Deputy Minister of that sector. I'm heartened to see that legacy of our efforts continues and institutional memory on disability issues being preserved. I must pause and express my gratitude to the Vice President for preserving the momentum and ensuring the continuation of this crucial work. Their leadership and commitment to promoting the rights of empowerment of persons with disability are truly commendable. I applaud their efforts and look forward to continued collaboration and progress in this area. As we consider this crucial policy, I can attest that the tireless efforts of stakeholders, experts, and persons with disabilities who contributed to its development was sufficient. This policy is a significant milestone in our journey towards creating a more inclusive and equitable society. It focuses on accessibility, empowerment, and inclusivity that will enable persons with disabilities to reach their full potential. To ensure that public places, transportation, information, and services are accessible to all regardless of their abilities. It empowers persons with disabilities and provides opportunities for education, employment, and social participations, and enabling persons with disabilities to take active role in shaping decisions that affect their lives and communities. It fosters inclusivity. It encourages a culture of inclusivity and respect, recognizing a valuable contribution of persons with disabilities to our society. It ensures successful implementation of this policy, and I emphasize the need to allocate sufficient resources to support implementation, engage with stakeholders, including persons with disabilities and disability organizations, to ensure their voices are heard and needs addressed. These aspects will ensure that individuals' lived experience are included in decision-making process that affect their lives. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I am confident that this policy will have a transformative impact on the lives of persons with disabilities. In addition, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I urge all members of the August House to take note of this policy and work together to ensure its successful implementation. As a nation, let us strive to build a society that values diversity, promote inclusion, and provide opportunities for all citizens to strive. Thank you, and I so submit.
Thank you. Thank you. The policy is noted and so agreed to. The third notice will be a notice, the one from the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water and Land Reform. Does the Minister move that the bill be introduced?
I so move, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Who seconds? Any objection? Okay.
We were made to understand, Deputy Speaker, that part of the problem with our land question is this fragmented piece of legislation. And then we were then promised a land bill that is all encompassing. What is happening there? Is it not, for example, if it's communal land boards in relation to, or am I jumping the gun? I'm just struggling. Communal land board, are they not integrated in this piece of legislation that we are also talking about? And then at the same time, we already have a Communal Land Reform Act. We abandoned all those pieces of legislation because we were told that they are all now united in this bill that is before Parliament. Did I miss something, or before I say I object or anything? But principally,
but you stand on objection.
Clarification.
You see,
because I could have done that, but if I can be persuaded that maybe it's addressed, then I don't have to object.
No, you see.
Or how do you advise me to do it?
When you are on the floor, and you taught me this, when you are on the floor and I want to interrupt you, you will always say, hear me out, isn't it? So that once you have hear me out, you can now object. or rule me out of order. Now, when a minister introduces a bill, it's her responsibility. Whatever you were told, you sit and listen, and once you see that you are not in line with what was said outside, you still get, because that will be introduced, it will be debated, the presiding officer will still put the question, does the House agree to the bill, or does the House not agree to the bill? So I think I'm following that logic. Okay. Honorable Minister, so you, then I think it's agreed to, consensus, to listen to the Minister in terms of a motivation. You now have the floor, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, I rise to table the long-awaited land bill, and I urge that as we deliberate upon the various provisions of this bill, our collective and non-partisan approach is required to ensure that the final provisions respond to the aspirations of the majority of the Namibian people, and that we lay a foundation for productive land reform process and national cohesion. I am mindful, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that the land question remains a complex and emotive matter, and central to our national discourse of redressing historical injustices of brutal dispossession. During the colonial eras, arable land was forcibly taken by colonial settlers, thereby displacing indigenous people who owned the land. This dispossession was not only a matter of physical displacement, but also a loss of cultural heritage, economic autonomy, and social cohesion. The legacy of these historical injustices continue to impact our society today. Our struggle for national independence was deeply intertwined with regaining land in order to restore the dignity of the dispossessed. At independence, the government inherited huge disparities in land ownership.
Okay, there is a procedural flaw, Honorable Member. You should have tabled the bill, and then the Secretary to read out the bill, and then you will continue. Isn't it? No, it's because I address a matter to you when you ask. Yeah, I can error, and that's why I'm correcting the error. It's because your interjection came, my mind went off, and then when I came back, I just give to the Honorable Minister. There is nothing sinister in that. Honorable Minister, please just table the bill. I will now ask the Secretary to read the bill the first time.
Land bill.
Okay. You can continue where you left off, Honorable Minister. Yes, please, Honorable members. Please, Honorable Swartboy, with humility. I stop a process. There are two choices we can do. We either continue or we start so that the process is in synergy. Please. What do you, the House, prefer? Continue. Okay, let's continue and hear. I made the error, and I'm saying we are correcting the error. Let the Honorable Minister, we have done the procedural rearrangement. You can start off where you left. Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, before I was interrupted, I was saying our struggle for national independence was deeply intertwined with regaining land in order to restore the dignity of the dispossessed people. And at independence, Namibia inherited huge disparity in land ownership, with minority holding vast tracts of land, while majority Namibians were confined to crowded communal areas with no access to productive land for agricultural activities and habitation. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I would like to find out how many minutes do I have, because I see I only have 3 minutes.
15. Should be 15.
Okay, you said there are 2 minutes. So 13 minutes left. It cannot be.
Okay, we'll give you 10.
No, I just started.
No.
They gave 3 instead of 15. No, they gave 5.
They gave 5. We gave 5, now 10. So we'll give you 10.
No, it was not even 5.
It was what?
Only 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you 12. To go to 15.
She lost her record now.
12, please.
Yeah, it's like 12 minutes. It's like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Addressing this historical disparity require multifaceted approaches. In this connection, the SWAPO party-led government introduced various programs, enacted policies and legislative frameworks to redress the injustices committed against Namibians during the colonial era, including the brutal genocide meted out against our people. Honorable members, let me remind you what the founding president said during our first National Land Conference. Our founding president and leader of the Namibian Revolution, Dr. Sam Shafushina Nujoma, said the following in open quote: "The question of land ownership and dispossess was very much at the center of our national resistance and the armed struggle." He nevertheless requested the delegates not to consider the land reform process in isolation, but all relevant questions such as agricultural productivity, water availability, employment creation, and the linkages between agriculture and mechanization, close quote. With this understanding, the land reform process does not view access to land merely as a commodity. It is a foundation of dignity, identity, economic freedom. Against this background, the Agricultural Land Reform Act of 1995 and the Communal Land Reform of 2002 and the resettlement policy were approved to regulate land allocation both in commercial and communal areas. During the course of implementing these land reform programs, a number of contemporary challenges emerged that have in some instances hindered the full realization of our national land reform objectives. While several amendments were made to existing legislation over the years, these were often done in a piecemeal fashion, lacking coherence and comprehensiveness required for lasting impact. In response, the ministry undertook extensive legislative review process aimed at consolidating and harmonizing the legal framework governing land in Namibia. This process culminated in the drafting of the bill in front of you, honorable members. The bill is a consolidation of the Agricultural Land Reform Act and the Communal Land Reform Act, along with related legislation into a coherent legal framework. This consolidation aims to enhance clarity, improve administrative efficiencies, and strengthen the legal foundation for equitable land reform. Honorable members, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I therefore present the bill to you, honorable members, in the belief that our deliberations will take place within the context of existing constitutional stipulations, policies, and legal frameworks which provide access to land right for decent and dignified standard of living for Namibians. The bill was initially introduced into this House by the former Minister, Honorable Carles Schledwijn, on the 13th of March 2025, but was not discussed. Its reintroduction at this juncture carried renewed significance. This time is being tabled before an assembly that now includes a broader spectrum of voices, notably of stakeholders who actively participated in the second National Land Conference. Honorable members, at this juncture, allow me to give you a breakdown of the key provisions that are contained in this bill that we are presenting before you. I will focus only on the new addition and changes. Firstly, the bill introduces a centralized land tribunal to deal with all land-related disputes, whether in communal or commercial areas. The bill also establishes a communal land development fund to support the development in communal areas while maintaining the land acquisition and development fund for commercial agricultural land development, especially resettlement farms. The bill also prohibits the acquisition of both communal and commercial land by foreign nationals. It introduces stringent measures to address non-compliance and pollution. It also provides for the establishment of land committees to issue consent letters in areas without traditional authority or where disputes exist among such nationals. Honorable members, I say where there is no recognized traditional authority.
Just speak to the presiding with, yeah.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, the bill prohibits the acquisition of land by foreign nationals. Prohibits. Currently the minister can.
Honorable Minister.
Don't answer, don't focus there.
Preliminary, chapter 1. I rise on the point of Rule 51, Honorable Deputy.
Why should I protect if you are doing deliberate?
According to our prayer, we say we shall respect each other on this day. Thank you very much. Chapter 1 deals with preliminary provisions. Chapter 2 deals with communal land, and in particular, the administration of communal land, the establishment of communal boards, the powers of traditional authority as far as it relates to allocation of communal land, and also land committee where there are no recognized traditional authorities. It also deals with communal land fund for the development of communal land. Chapter 3 deals with agricultural commercial land, where the acquisition of commercial land by foreign nationals through registration of ownership is prohibited. The bill empowers the minister to compulsorily acquire and alienate commercial agricultural land for other purposes other than land reform. Chapter 4 deals with land tax, and Chapter 5 deals with the land tribunals. And the key introduction there is the fact that this tribunal is going to adjudicate disputes related to land issues, whether in communal or in commercial area. The general provisions, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the general provisions provides for the designation of staff members to carry out prescribed functions. Honorable members, Honorable Speaker, we are aware that there are many pervasive challenges that still remain in our land reform process. We are aware, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the availability of suitable land to meet the growing needs and the expectation of landless Namibians. We are aware that the price per hectare for land is very high, particularly for government to acquire sufficient land to resettle all Namibians that are in need of land. Honorable members, this bill in front of you reaffirms our commitment to a peaceful land reform, a reform that enhances access to land, accelerates land allocation for the youth and women, corridor dwellers, and generational farm workers. As a nation, we should not shy away from expropriation of land in national interest, and the land allows us to do so. Hence, this bill serves as a transformative instrument designed to restore dignity, promote equity, and empower our people through access to land. Honorable members, I would like to end with a quote from President Nelson Mandela, who said during one of their land policy and land reform conferences in 1997, and I say so because I spoke about expropriation. He said, land reform is not a threat to peace. It is a foundation of peace. It is not a call to chaos, but a call to justice. And justice must never be delayed, for justice delayed is justice denied. As I conclude, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I urge you, as you deliberate on the provisions of this bill, to have regard to the spirit of nation building and our enduring mantra of one Namibia, one nation. Let us deliberate with due consideration of the land demand and supply scenario. The government acting alone cannot fully address the complex issues associated with land reform and redistribution, nor can it singularly meet the diverse expectations of all our stakeholders. Therefore, an urgent need for concerted and inclusive efforts across all sectors and constituencies to forge lasting and equitable and sustainable solution to our land reform process. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Very well spoken.
I now recognize Honorable Lampanda.
No, this is just to assure you, Deputy Speaker, is that I think all we wanted, I could see now, what is not in the notice is that it's a land bill. We were supposed to be jumping up and down when she started. When you just read the Deputy Speaker, you don't find anything on the land bill. Only when they started distributing, we actually, this is a revolutionary piece of legislation that we needed to.
Are you postponing? Are you participating?
No, I'm just trying to tell you, Deputy Speaker, so that you don't think I'm misbehaving. I was trying to explain that this is nice.
We have reached consensus.
Wait for the Deputy Speaker, not you.
We have reached consensus.
So now we are very happy.
No, we have reached consensus to say here out, you have got the document. At the back of the document, it says laws repealed. All the laws are repealed and forming one. That's why I was saying here out, on the basis of what you know, then come in. So, but to repeat it, I think we are all reading. Yeah. No, the notice, we can phrase things differently. Yeah. Yes, we can. Okay. But okay, who's ready to contribute? No, okay. No. Just wait. Honorable Amutse, are you contributing? Oh. Huh? No, if he contribute, then you will come. Madi? No, you see, that the speaker or the presiding officer is not a teacher. I'm just here to facilitate a process. And I said, whatever that was said, it's not your chance to go, postpone, analyze, whatever, and come back and the notice. You see, the notice is upon the mover, isn't it? Yeah, the notice is upon the mover, but in all adjudications, you always look at the intent and the message. So it's now, yeah, and then there is what they call the long title, huh? Long title. Okay. Amutse, are you contributing? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I want to appreciate the Honorable Minister for tabling this very important land bill. It was indeed, it's already 2 minutes. So, Honorable Deputy Speaker, there are certain issues that I wanted to have clarity on, one being the fencing, it's my paper of course, fencing of customary land. Because I believe that if the interpretation is to prohibit the people, or let's say people living in communal areas, to fence off the land that they utilize for, say, crop production, then in that aspect, I would say it needs reconsideration so that they are allowed to fence off at least that parcel of land where they are producing their crops. And there is also an element that I have seen talking about a person to own only one parcel of land in a customary. Yes, I'm talking about.
Thank you. Sorry, honorable members. What is happening now? Oh,
which I now
get the time. You'll get the time. Yes, honorable member.
Yeah, Honorable Deputy Speaker, with the intervention, especially from that side, I want to postpone to tomorrow.
I know. Okay, I think maybe it's the English. Honorable Swatwe. Oh, yeah, okay. Then this bill stands postponed for discussion until tomorrow. Thank you. The Secretary will now read. The Secretary will now read the first order of the day.
Resumption of consideration of the performance assessment and post-election report for the Gwinas constituency by-election.
When the Assembly adjourned on Tuesday, the 23rd of September, the question before the Assembly was a report by the Deputy Speaker that the report be adopted. However, Honorable Swartbe adjourned the debate and he now has the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. The 3 minutes is already up, but suffice to say that the report presents key findings without depth, avoiding the necessary analytical scrutiny required to reveal the true state of our electoral system. This lack of rigor raises concerns about the ECN's credibility and effectiveness in safeguarding electoral accountability. The recurring problems of electoral technology, including freezing of devices, should now have been resolved, especially after expensive litigation during the ECN's process last year. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, one of the most pressing issues highlighted in the report that one must be deeply concerned about is the low voter turnout, and this cannot be separated from the effectiveness of the ECN's voter education process. The report fails to provide concrete data on attendance at voter education sessions. It only says voter turnout is so much, voter registration is so much, but how many people actually attended the voter sessions, voter education sessions, so that we can test for impact of the money that is spent. Instead, the ECN appears to rely on a blanket approach that floods communities with posters, pamphlets, and radio messages. Such efforts underestimate the real power of direct engagements. In communities already facing high literacy barriers and structural poverty, the distribution of generic marketing materials does little to deepen democratic understanding and application. The report claims in paragraph 512 that robust civic education took place. This claim collapses under the weight of evidence that in Gwinas constituency, home to about 8,578 residents, only 4,300 registered voters. The economic hardship is a daily reality. Subsistence farming dominates, employment opportunities are scarce, and many migrate to Tsumeb for survival. Against this backdrop, how meaningful really is voter education, and how can ECN claim on what evidence that their voter education has really impacted people to raise their level of consciousness about what it is that they are doing? Electoral Act 5, Section 49G requires ECN to monitor and conduct evaluation research to determine true impact of voter and civic education, yet no such research has been presented to this House. Where is that information? And when will we see that research? A people-centric democracy demands more than a pamphlet dropped at every house every 5 years. It requires a continuous engagement. It requires voter education that empowers citizens to evaluate. Perhaps one must then also move to ECN to suggest that the voter education funding that they are using should perhaps be given to political parties that will do a greater job to sensitize members and to sensitize voters, because the political parties have a greater interest to get people to turn up for votes. I support the report for adoption.
Thank you very much. Okay, I recognize Honorable Nekongo.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Looking at the time, I think it will not be enough for my contribution. I will therefore postpone to next week, Tuesday.
Thank you very much. Stand postpone to next week, Tuesday. The Secretary will now read the second order of the day.
Resumption of debate to provide direction to the ACC and the appointment of its Director General and the Deputy Director General, among others.
When the Assembly adjourned on Tuesday, the 1st of July in the year 2025, the question before the Assembly was a motion by Honorable Kambala that the motion be referred to a parliamentary standing committee for further investigation and report back to the House. However, Honorable Shitana adjourned the debate and he now has the floor.
The the time is up and we are very tired of corruption. I postpone to tomorrow.
Yeah. What is the time actually? Okay. I will capitalize. The secretary will read the third order of the day.
Resumption of debate on harmonizing all major elections into one single event, and it will reduce costs, increase voter turnout, improved administrative efficiency, and strengthened democratic participation.
When the Assembly adjourned on Wednesday, the 2nd of July 2025, the question before the Assembly was a motion by Honorable Hangula that the motion be referred to a parliamentary standing committee for further investigation and report back to this Assembly. However, Honorable Ipumbu adjourned the debate and he now has the floor. Oh. Yeah, maybe it's a challenge now. Ipumbu. Oh, is okay. Kweba we, Indrek. Honorable Gaubab. Yeah, you are sitting together. Okay. Kweba. Come again? Oh, Honorable Garubu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Let me postpone it to tomorrow.
Thank you.
I make contribution. On his behalf. On his behalf.
No,
on my behalf.
On behalf of Honorable Karupu.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The Secretary.
It's better that way.
Okay, the Secretary will now read the fourth order of the day.
Resumption of debate on the employment conditions of all uniformed personnel services, especially members of the Namibian Police Force, Namibian Correctional Services, and the Namibian Defense Force.
When this Assembly adjourned on Wednesday, the 9th of July, the question before the Assembly was a motion by Honorable Karonda that the motion be referred to a parliamentary standing committee for further investigation and report back to the House. Is there any further discussion? Okay. No, Honorable Somai? Until tomorrow, in your name. Okay. But before that, does the Honorable Minister of Defense want to 2 minutes.
I just want to say that motion should not be allowed. Thank you.
You object? Okay, we'll come at that time to object. We'll come at that time to object. For now, the motion stands adjourned for discussion until tomorrow by Honorable Somai. Yes.
You were chairing that day. I was on the floor contributing, and the Prime Minister of India walks in. Because the last time we were having this, I was on the floor, and then you said, no, we'll continue later. Our important guest, you asked for my indulgence, and then we stopped. That's actually what had happened on that particular day.
So you want your 3 minutes?
No, because I was in the middle of a contribution.
You want your 3 minutes?
But I can go after.
You want your can you go after him?
Yes.
But you want your 3 minutes? That's
Yes.
the question I'm putting to you.
Yes.
Yeah, that one will be granted because you made it a habit.
Okay.
But we are noting now, going forward. Okay. Thank you very much. It has now come to 7:45. I will ask the Right Honorable PM.
Move that the House stand adjourned until tomorrow 14:30. Yes.
Thank you very much. So adjourned.